Hello, Ryan here, aka Mac, and welcome. We have the details for this year's CitizenCon, so let us see what to expect. As always, a huge thank you to all of my patrons and channel members, in particular to my latest channel member, Roberto Hernandez. Thank you so much for the support, it is truly appreciated. So firstly, CitizenCon 2952 kicks off on October 8th at 3 PM UTC time, which is about 4 PM here in the UK. And it's likely 2 days before the official birthday, simply because the 8th is a Saturday, 10th is a Monday, so it's likely just more convenient to hold it on the weekend. But the official Star Citizen birthday, I suppose, is October 10th. Now, we finally have the schedule for the event panels, which I will run through in just a minute. And like last year, it is a digital event. There will be no live venue, and as we heard, there will be no main keynote. Instead, it will consist of smaller panels highlighting the work that CIG have been doing to get to Alpha 4.0. Talking of which, this year's event is titled Journey to 4.0 and features 7 panels which will range in duration. Times of each panel will likely come closer to the official day, as we don't have them now, but it does say that it's time once again to celebrate all things Star Citizen, most importantly, you, the community who makes everything in this universe possible. Get ready for a day filled with exciting content, ranging from development updates, giveaways, and more. Now, they will also be broadcasting the entire event over at twitch.tv/Star Citizen, plus most definitely popping each panel on their YouTube channel to watch if you cannot attend while it's live. So, what are the panels going to show? Let us take a look. The panel to kick off the event is called Planetary PYRO, and this is a guided tour through many of the planets and moons of the upcoming PYRO system, exploring their current development statuses and why they're more than just burnt, charred husks that you may have read about. Now, I do suspect that this will be a pretty lengthy panel, minimum of 1 hour, but I don't know for certain yet. But it will be very interesting to see exactly how the system's 6 planets are coming along since last year's event. I would expect to see a lot more detail and diversity to what we have in Stanton, as they have been expanding their planet tech. The next panel, the second panel, is titled Design Brief Investigations. And in this panel they will explore the pitch process for a new mission archetype that leaves combat and delivery behind for mindful deduction and increased storytelling. Now, we have been hearing more about how they are trying to create missions that have a deep narrative storyline, but are also not repetitive. So it will be very interesting to hear more about how they go about this, and also this new line of investigation missions, what that will hold. As I do certainly like the sound of mindful deduction. I would love for Star Citizen to get to the point where you could literally follow the path of an investigator, solving missions through following clues and having to figure things out with very little hand-holding. I think that would be a cool gameplay career path, I suppose. But this panel I will be very interested in learning more about. Now, the third panel is called The New Underground, and as I just mentioned in my monthly report video, which I will link in the description below, this will delve into the work CIG have been doing to shake up the underground facilities, with the description of the panel reading, When corporations, commerce, and caverns collide, take your first look at the enormous reimagining of underground facilities and the new gameplay possibilities that will arrive with them. So this description sounds like the facilities will vary from official company-owned locations, like what we see with the different megacorps, to money-making ventures, maybe distilleries and that kind of stuff, or even lesser established facilities that might be a little rough around the edges. Now, we have recently read that the entrance and elevator access topside to these underground facilities are getting a revamp with a new lobby and entranceways. Plus, they are hooking up the interactables down below, so this will likely help us with stealthing or distracting or maybe finding alternate routes or treasure. So it should be quite an interesting panel to see just how deep they are going with these locations and how much variation there will be, and I do suspect the visuals topside and down below will become a lot more diverse as well. Now, the fourth panel is one that I am very interested in hearing more about, as this one is called The Need for Multiple Speeds, and it states, we all know how speed impacts combat, but learn how master modes, initially developed for Squadron 42, will impact the flight experience for the persistent universe and better define ship roles for all vehicles in Star Citizen. So as we know, they are reducing the speeds specifically for combat to ensure that combat is a more visceral experience, actually being able to see the ships you're fighting and all the gritty details and what that will involve. But it also sounds like they might be touching upon other modes like quantum travel boosting perhaps. So really excited to hear more about what all of this will involve and how this will impact our time in the verse, with not just combat speeds being reduced, but other different modes for flight. Plus, it sounds like they're using this time to tailor the ships more to their intended roles and where their strengths and weaknesses are. Now, the fifth panel is titled Lorville Redux, which states we've come a long way since our first planetary landing zone, and here you'll see the first glimpse at how everything learned since then is being reapplied to this walled, polluted city. Now, this should be really interesting to see, as of course, every city since the first being Lorville, they have been built up better than the last. Now, we know for Lorville they are adjusting the cityscape to more of what they intend it to be. They're also adding more neighbourhoods or districts with additional landing pads and connecting them all up. Plus, they will be introducing more interior spaces like offices and such to provide more locations for missions. Now, what I would personally love to see with Lorville, but I'm unsure if we will actually see this, are roads connecting these neighbourhoods and that shantytown on the outskirts of the city, maybe getting that populated with NPCs. We also might actually see a population in Lorville, as they have recently been adding spawn closets to main landing zones. So personally, very much looking forward to this one and seeing what changes have fallen upon the very first city landing zone we ever got, and how they have established it more within its lore, out of really being this repressive and polluted location. Now, the sixth panel is one that I'm probably looking forward to the most, almost, I suppose, as it's called Power Play, which says it looks at how the upcoming resource management system will change life in the verse as we know it, from combat to player homesteading, and allow for true multi-crew gameplay. Now, this is talking all about how all the components in the ships interact with each other and provide the necessary functions and resources to make it fly or drive, as well as relay nodes for us to reroute power in case of emergencies. Now, I really hope that we get to see the fire hazard system in action as well, and I am expecting to see the life support at the least working, as that was just completed its gameplay work. So a massive system that will affect every player to some degree, as we all have at least one ship, and will need to maintain it to keep flying. Now, the seventh and final panel of the day is titled Talking Ship 2952, and as you can imagine, it is the annual presentation from the ship's team, talking about all the latest vehicles coming through the pipeline, from concept to newly flyable, and it says a new twist to this year's voting on a new ship. So interested to hear what this could be. I do wonder what it means, but always a great show to catch up on the various ships in production, and according to the progress tracker, there are a couple of new unannounced vehicles making their way in, so we may hear more about them as well. For the event, there will also be, as usual, digital goodies that are free for all backers, with more details of that coming soon, but that is what to expect from this year's CitizenCon. Again, estimated times of each panel will likely release closer to the date, but we are now less than a month away, and it is coming around fast. So here's to the hype of CitizenCon, and I am looking forward to getting some snacks and just plonking myself in front of the TV and soaking it all in. Do let me know which panel you're all most excited for. For me personally, I think I'm actually equally interested in all of them, as each one holds something of great interest to me. But with that said, if you do enjoy my videos, please do consider subscribing and helping the channel to grow. Also, come and hang out over at twitch.tv/supermacbrother. We will certainly be discussing this more and everything Star Citizen. You're all more than welcome. Hit the thumbs up if you don't mind, it does the channel a big favour, and tick that notification bell if you would like to be notified when my videos go live. Again, big thank you to my patrons and channel members. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.